Cek tes halo. Cek tes halo halo tes. Cek tes tes. Cek tes halo halo tes satu. Juga nanda. Oke, standby. Tes. Yuk, kita lanjutkan yang kemarin. Dari kemarin tuh si Dr. Rek mengunjungi makam saudarinya ya. Here we go.
This is no place for a gentleman. Step away, Chef Mike. I'll take you.
Tahun itu dapat stamina mereka. Gitu. Apa sih bertahan kuatnya apa sih? Kenapa Xbox? Wow, set. Bisa sweet ternyata ya. Bisa itu. Attack. Apa coba? Divisi gak bisa apa-apa. Set key binding. Oh ini dia. Hold dot. Kan wallnya harus hold. Susah kalau silent kill. Toggle wall. B. Oh B ya. B. Oke. Target first target. Interaction. Attack. Shoot. Kill. Skill. Ini ya. Z and C. Z and C. Menu PMOL. Ini untuk ketika dialog ya. EFR PMNOL. Coba dulu PMNOL. OM N OL ya. L apa sih? OI story ya, oke. Yang ini nih ZNC ini baru baca Ultimate 5. Nggak ada ya. Oh itu deh, tapi C gak ada guna. C gak ada guna boy. Oke lah.
Hello, sir. Sorry to disturb you at this hour. I'm a doctor inquiring about the epidemic. May I come in?
A doctor, you say? No, thank you.
All right. I shan't insist. Goodbye for now, sir.
Bang. Din is
Not a good
Ngulang
place for a
lagi.
stroll. Oi! Didn't you hear me, stupid beast?
And off to church he goes, a newborn seeking divine consent to lick the blood from the soft and pointy crown.
Who are you? Make yourself known.
Newborn, you reek of guilt and pointless compassion. Shed your skin, forget your old weaker self.
What do you want from me?
Waduh, nih bos.
Ascalon does not approve of lone wolves who bring unwanted eyes to our pastures.
So your name is Ascalon.
Ascalon's will is vampire law. Learn them, abide by them, or I shall return as your judge and
Masuk
jury.
akal ukurannya.
These immortals try my patience with their plans and unsolicited counsel.
Let's turn around if I were you. Go on, off you jump, it's a leech. Kill it.
Right on, sir.
Aduh,
God walks with me.
apa itu? Nah, kok begitu?
I order you. Step back.
Waduh.
Away with you.
This man stunned me with his faith. His crucifix.
This is not good news.
Filosofi apa ya? Crucifix. Crucifix. Mana nih? Depan.
Yes? What is it that you want?
I'm sorry to disturb you at such a late hour.
No worries, my son. I'm still quite awake, having just returned from a funeral.
Yes, I know. I've forgotten what I wanted. I don't know.
May I help you, child? You seem somewhat perturbed.
I haven't the strength to cross the threshold. I wish to pray, to cleanse my soul.
The church is shut by order of the bishop. But I'm still the vicar of St. Mary's, if that is any use to you, my son.
I don't need company. I don't need broken ear. This personal matter. Apa yang betul orang?
Take no offense, Vicar. I seek just a moment in nothing but my own company.
There are no secrets from God, my son. If your heart needs comfort, consider me your chapel. For I can be as silent as stone.
I've told you once, this is a private concern.
Your eyes burn with rage, yet I see the pain that lies beyond. I am here to lighten the burden of all God's creatures. Whatever you tell me is between us and the Lord.
Very well, priest. As you seem quite adamant.
Open your heart, my son. Tell me what burdens you. With whom do you wish to speak?
It's not your concern. Just now I can. Just now I can.
Who she was is not your concern.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl. What happened to her?
Dia dibunuh sebuah kecelakaan. She been made to rest like kan udah bilang ini urusan pribadi, kenapa malah ditanya. then laid to rest.
She has been laid to rest. That's all you need to know.
I see. And how are you feeling, my son?
What is it to say? Aku mencoba untuk melupakan semua ini.
I wish I could forget all this.
I have a final question for you, my son. This is of the utmost importance.
Ask your question, Vicar.
How can this poor soul hear you when you can't even hear yourself and admit your role in this tragedy?
Is forgive me, I promise a fantasy.
I'm so sorry, Mary. I promise to find who is responsible for all this. I'll put an end to this horror.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten if your words are sincere. Go in peace now and live your life in the way she would have wanted.
Whatever happened on this dock is between my sister and I. It does not concern God at all.
There is something going on in this district. Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Have you any news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
It appears the dispensary is now a major source of contagion in Whitechapel. Someone should do something about it, but no one cares.
Goodbye, Mr.
Would you like me imprisoned by your daily routine?
Oh,
Good
you're
evening,
not
Mr.
that guy.
Whittaker.
It's Father Whittaker, my son.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I send him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
If you propagate the devil's work, you'll perish by the devil's work. Such is the law of the Lord.
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
If you propagate the devil's work, you'll perish by the devil's work. Such is the law of the Lord.
Ada yang hilang ya.
Don't you fear getting sick yourself?
Faith gives me all I need, my son. If I must fall, then so be it.
Kalau kita obati pasti konsekuensinya tuh orang ini harus dibunuh. Mungkin kalau kita main ini kita obati buat kita bantu orang, tapi gak kita kiss lah ya.
No doubt your faith will prevail, but let me give you some extra protection against the devil's work. Medicine.
Blessed be your generosity, my son.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Soon the time will come when you will all be judged for your sins. Even now,
Good evening, Christina.
Change your mind, Mr. Reed?
What do you know about Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
2 girls I know went to the dispensary yesterday. Nobody has seen them since. I worry about them, in case bad things happen.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Goodbye, miss. Take care.
You again?
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I saw her wandering the streets. Yesterday, I think. She didn't recognize me. People say she's lost it. It's a sad story.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Cheap price. Fancy buck.
You never Do you have any news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
It appears those who dare to get healthcare from that bitch are never seen again. Something fishy going on there, for sure.
More screen. Kenapa missing?
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I've known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Without making excuses for him, it's safe to say that despair can poison even the sanest mind.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
No one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against the wet boot boy.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Without making excuses for him.
We've all had some rough times, eh?
What do you know of Harry Peterson? The boy seems so fragile. Not like his father at all.
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining. He's had it tough, all right, but he needs to grow a pair.
What troubles him exactly?
But despite being his father's son, almost everything, I think. He never wanted to come to Whitechapel in the first place. Hates this place more than most of us.
Right then.
Beli apa lagi tadi? I need to come to hideout.
Steady, boys, we've got one of our
Semoga.
killing's all you deserve. Don't like that, do ya? It's on him! It's on him! Garbage! Filthy fucking bitch! Hate leeches! Die, beast! I hate leeches! Let's pin him down! I'll kill it! Filthy fucker! Killing's all you deserve! Want some of that?
Whoa. Itu agak kaget. Mana sih? Bawah.
This could be the box Lewis thought he lost.
Tidak mudah mengatakannya. I'm still going to the blend. Jane Peterson.
A love letter from Joe Peterson's wife addressed to Barrett Lewis. Who should I give it to, I wonder?
Ke Barrett atau ke Joe? Trinket and more. Pernik. Joe atau Barrett? Mana ke sini? Bojo aja lah. Dia konsen sama anaknya.
You again? What do you want this time?
I think the documents in this box could be of some interest to you.
Really? Where'd you get it?
I found it in an abandoned building nearby. I thought you might want to keep these letters.
Let me see. Ah, letters about my boy. Thank you, sir.
You do not appear surprised or pained by this.
Surprised about what? Harry's my son, I'm his father, and that's all there is to know, don't you think?
Yes, I suppose you're right.
Here's a little something for your trouble. And to remind you to keep your mouth shut about all this.
Money. You gave me some money.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? Barrett, affair with Joe's wife, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. She's the only woman I loved.
Ngapain
My first regret is that
selingkuh?
she stayed with Joe after Harry was born. The second is I never shed a tear when she died.
Did you ever try talking to Joe?
Never. But I suspected he knew everything, even without knowing it. And he decided to make me pay in his own way.
Do you mean you're Harry's father?
No one will ever know for sure. And it's better that way. And I don't believe I'd have been all that bad as a dad.
Kita baca lagi.
Do you mean you're Harry's father?
No one will ever know for sure. And it's better that way. And I don't believe I'd have been all that bad as a dad.
Oh, berarti orang ini adalah bapak si Harry yang ada di dalam rumah tadi.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Barret berselingkuh dengan istrinya si Joe. Barret minta his good friends. Joe dan Barret adalah bersahabat. Barret tahu finansial bisa Joe extortion. Oh, layak dibunuh nih orang ini.
Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So,
I'm not bothered.
have you any recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
Nobody dares to enter the dispensary now. Rumours say the nurse has gone mad.
Do you remember when Barrett Lewis was close to your family? To your mother?
Not really. I was too young. But I remember it was a happier time. Mr. Lewis was funny. He often had dinner with us.
Why are you sad then?
Because it hurts to remember a time when my father used to laugh and smile. It hurts to realise he's as sad as me now.
No was story. Itu bukan.
How was he towards you?
He was nice, I guess. He never forgot my birthday. He always offered me books. I liked books.
Nice one. Ini Lezatos ini, tapi 700.
Goodbye, young man.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
You again?
Goodbye.
Depan, kanan, kiri.
It's locked, all right.
Kok berantakan? Ngapain yang cari yang jauh goblok. Suaranya banget. Bikin. Ini bos kayak ini. Waduh, langsung mati ke 24 levelnya. Skip dulu lah dalam si doi ini. Udah jadi centang. Set misi ya, side misi. Exit. Mana yang dekat nih? In storage cemetery. Kan udah nih, apa lagi? Oh, jauh, pada jauh-jauh semua. Stand for percaya dengan brand again and cover this error. Ini disembunyikan kalian di atas. Cover the stand for this resignation cover. Cover this. Brand yang mana ya? Yang tua itu ya? Oh, doi udah meninggal. Inilah dulu, coba ini dulu.
It's one of them! The power of the Lord commands you!
Wah, itu stamina.
Have faith, brothers!
Oh, beloy.
We cannot... Stay back! Have no fear, brothers! Fear no evil! We do the Lord's work here!
Itu goblok.
Back, demon! Back!
Itu ada zombie samping dan suaranya jelas.
We'll crush this beast!
Stamina goblok. Pistolnya
Away with you!
Apa sih yang sama-sama gak jelas?
Not a safe place right now, sir. Oh my god! God walks with me.
Pasti gue jelas. Kan jauh. Jauh tuh goblok.
can't believe I'm doing this.
Ya ada dong.
Over there! There's one of them!
Remorse and pain are precious when binding you to the earth. You. I remember you. Fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making.
This is your doing. You made me. Made me this creature.
What are you?
What are you?
Siapa kamu?
I am the land. You are our champion.
You selected me. Chose me.
As shall my children yet to come.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur. I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave. So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one.
Jadi tadi tuh kayaknya apa ini? Apa ini kok darah-darah? Kayaknya tadi tuh makhluk yang menjadiin kita sebagai vampir.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
What can you tell me about the recent events in the hospital?
That Mr. Hampton killed Miss Jones in her room, then ran away.
And did you see all this?
No. I was working by the tents when it all happened. I only entered the room when they asked me to clean up the blood.
Where is Miss Jones's body?
I don't know. I'd imagine the morgue. It all happened so quickly.
Did you see Sean Hampton leave the hospital?
I think I saw a silhouette exiting the hospital gates after the shouting started. At first I thought it was someone who was just scared, but well, maybe it was him.
Oh, sepertinya Shin diduga telah membunuh Miss Jones. Ini lagi balik ke tadi ya. Saya pengennya tuh pengen reveal, tapi mana yang bisa dipilih? Kita tunggu dulu.
Goodbye, nurse.
I'm really sorry, sir. I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Di atas.
It's locked.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again. Please show me what you have to... Of course.
So you are...
It's mine! Take it!
Sabi nga sa minagoblok. Oh, jadi si Telma tuh kan dia bilang dia tuh kerasa kayak vampir yang haus darah. Jadi dia dicurigai oleh orang-orang ini, makanya diintip. Waduh, bisa orang kayak gitu. Nanti gak bisa, kamera jelek. organizator sebanyak 3 orang langsung.
Die, vermin!
This is clever. Membusuk dikaya. Jadi rumah sakit itu dituduh ya, diduga kalau banyak vampir di sana. kalian. Ini yang ngerti nih gimana sih? Rp6.000. Di ujung dong. Coba di dulu lah.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. It's locked, all right.
Siapa sih yang membunuh tuh? Dr. Thompson.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I...
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Kayaknya kalau sekolah lapar tuh Sansi. Karena dia
Goodbye,
yang
nurse.
berwenang
Call
di
me
sini.
if you need assistance. Good evening. nurse.
Good evening.
What can you tell me?
That Mr. Hampton killed...
Mr. Hampton, gimana nih?
Miss Jones in her room, then ran
Miss
away.
Jones.
Wait,
And did you see all this?
no.
Gimana sih orangnya?
Goodbye, nurse.
Tapi nggak ada ya sini. Yang mana orangnya? Oh ini Hampton. Tapi sini gak ada yang korbannya.
Another night of the glorious battalion of Pembrokeshire.
Jonathan, my sincere condolences for your loss.
Your kindness is much appreciated, my lady.
Is there anything you require?
Are we condemned to attend the funerals of all we love?
Dying is the final act of life, Jonathan. Present company excluded. Accepted.
I don't know what to expect. Am I cursed to an eternity of solitude?
With time, we Ekon tend to go into isolation. If we survive long enough, that is.
As a practitioner of the medical sciences, I'm prepared for the death of loved ones. But mourning in the shadows, deprived of sharing one's grief.
We are no longer a part of the circle of life and death. We are undead, my friend, and so we are outcasts.
I spied my mother at the funeral. Have you ever revealed yourself to a member of your family?
No, Jonathan. And I'd advise you even from thinking about it.
Are we then condemned to lie to those we love?
We are creatures of deception, my friend. But this is more for their sake than ours.
Are we then condemned to lie to those we love?
We are creatures of deception, my friend. But this is more for their sake than ours.
But what if I was close to someone and wished to tell them the truth?
Fear, loathing, disgust. And then they will plead to be turned. They will see it as salvation. Then there's the risk of gaining the attention of vampire hunters.
But what if I was close to someone and wished to tell them the truth?
Fear, loathing, disgust. And then they will plead to be turned. They will see it as salvation. Then there's the risk of gaining the attention of vampire hunters.
But what if I was close to...
Fear, loathing, disgust. And then... Fear, loathing, disgust. And then they will plead to be turned. They will see it as salvation. Then there's the risk of gaining the attention of vampire hunters.
Goodbye, my lady. Until we meet again.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadogan fellow.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Rick.
Try to your life, Juliana. Bisa aku tutup di
Goodbye, Doctor. Good evening, Milton. I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. I really...
Horrifying epidemic.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor.
I'd like to...
Wise choice.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Apa sih maksudnya? Oh, refill dokter. Maunya tuh di refill. Artinya kalau di Tibet I'll cover you. Di sini I want refill dokter Tibet. Sama aja maksudnya.
Goodbye, nurse.
Dr. Sansi, here is answer. Ini opsi terakhir. Habis itu off. What is that? akomodasi. Gimana sih di atas bawah?
Hey, Doc.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cobb.
Sometimes you act like a real jerk, you know that?
Come on, Ozzy, don't be like that.
What, like what? Like someone who felt betrayed by the man he loves? Did you ever even try to find me? Rescue me?
You know, it's not like that. I wanted to. I was so afraid to leave the hospital, not to be seen with you.
We survived this shit together. That's all that matters. I know you did your best.
Gue mulai.
Fuck the war, right? And fuck them all. Fuck the war. Fuck them all.
Come in, come in.
It's locked, all right.
For God's sake. We're still alive and healthy. Is this supposed to be an hospital? A pigsty would smell better. I'd head back if I were you, sir. Over there! I'll rest for the wicked! Remember your vows, friends! Lord, give us strength! The power of the Lord commands you!
Harus ada yang nyangkut.
We have a killer!
Kiri.
Best turn around if I were you.
Mana lagi ini?
Look out! Take a breath of this! Eat this! Fuck his boy! lost!
Goblok.
Get them weapons! Let's see how it likes a bit of fire.
Ada dong bosnya. Apa sih? Stamina goblok.
Opium is one of the main ingredients of Strickland's medication. Never a good move.
Strickland. Strickland.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your time.
Good evening, sir.
But in circumstances, I'm really...
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
I located the shop, but it was vandalized, and the owner is missing. All I found was your order.
I was afraid of such bad news. People are so desperate they're ready to burgle a shop for drugs.
That's quite a list you ordered. Opium, sodium hypochlorite. It can't be just headaches you're trying to cure.
This dreadful influenza, of course. I already ran some tests on hopeless cases. Without success, I must admit.
Do you realize you could create a lethal poison without the correct dosage? Then there are the legal ramifications.
Is this not true of any medical substance, Dr. Reed? However, if you would agree to improve it, I'd be glad to accept your help.
As long as you promise to be scrupulous with your experiments, I may try to gather these substances, and even help improve upon the mixture.
That's all I'm asking for, Dr. Reed. That's all I'm asking.
I want to know about these secret tests you run, and if they can save people from this epidemic. Speak to me now, Thoreau.
I know I may sound presumptuous, but I'm just following your steps, Dr. Reed. I'm casting away the shadows of ignorance by daring to face them.
Self-confidence is essential in our line of work, my young colleague, but only if tempered with the correct amount of cynicism.
But you never doubt yourself, Dr. Reed. I've read all your articles and books. You performed the most daring research during the war.
Yes, Mencoba, why not to take a break? Masalahnya kita nggak tahu apa-apalah positif.
You have my support, Dr. Strickland. I know exactly what it feels like to battle an unknown disease with only your mind and force of will to help you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. You don't know what that means to me.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
I can't let Strickland put his patients at risk with opium. Perhaps an adjusted formula will deliver more of a placebo effect.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen.
Oke, itu aja lah. Thank you udah nonton.